All right, let's get into Friday feedback for the week. You can always write to me, info@davidpakman.com. If you have a question, a comment, a concern, a criticism. We will also sometimes include YouTube comments, Substack comments, TikTok replies. You never know what could show up on Friday feedback. Let's start with a message from Instagram from Levi Barth, who said very thoughtfully, anyone who voted for Biden in this comment section's opinion is completely biased. Biden was the definition of incompetent. He has dementia and cancer through his presidency, and you all still went for it. You can say it was because you didn't want Trump, but you all could have went with an independent to protest it. Syntax aside, okay, this is not a serious argument. You're venting conspiracy talking points and expecting it to land as truth. Biden has not been diagnosed with dementia, and he was not diagnosed with cancer during his presidency. Now, there are those who have brought up, how likely is it that he had no sign of cancer in the prostate at the end of his presidency, given that it was advanced, but at the same time, it's super aggressive, and sometimes that happens. We're now in a urological debate, but if we zoom out, if you genuinely cared about leadership competence, you would have a harder time excusing the nonstop chaos of Trump, the authoritarian threats, his inability to follow through on even basic policy. So none of this is really about leadership competence. You're not evaluating facts here. And, voting for an independent candidate in the two-party system, once it's already October 15th and you're trying to figure out what to do, it might feel righteous, but politically it would be useful. It would have been a way to make sure that Donald Trump becomes the president of the United States, not something that I wanted to participate in. So, I wish that there was a more serious commentary there. It's just hard to take it super seriously given the unhinged nature of it. All right, Bryant Clark said on Instagram, dude, I work with I work with is Trump supporter, not a bad dude. But we were having a conversation the other day, and he flat out admitted it. They don't care about facts. They only want to hear what makes them feel good. The scary part was, after we came to that conclusion, he was fine with it. Side note, he's real big on ancient aliens and shit like that too. Okay, so what you're describing here is something disturbingly common, and I write about it in my book. People who no longer care if what they believe is true, as long as it feels good and it signals allegiance to the right team. And when people openly admit that they don't value facts, and when Luke Beasley has gone out to the Trump rallies and done interviews with people, they openly admit the facts don't really matter. It's not just apathy at that point. They've surrendered ideologically. And once that happens, politics turns into a cult. It's not democracy. These folks are no longer debating ideas. They're consuming comfort food for the brain, and they act proud of it, as Bryant Clark is describing here. And the real danger is the self-awareness combined with the indifference. If you explain to someone, hey, you've got the facts wrong on this, and they go, oh, I didn't realize I had the wrong facts. Now that I have the right facts, I'm going to reevaluate my position. That's okay, right? You might have been tricked or mistaken. The coworker here, Brian's coworker, wasn't tricked. He knows it's about emotional validation and doesn't care. So he's willfully rejecting the truth. And when that mindset becomes widespread, it's not good for democracy. Now, meanwhile, the mentioning that this guy's into ancient aliens and shit like that too, it's not a harmless quirk. It's part of a broader pattern of distrusting institutions and looking for the real truth underlying what you've been told, or, whatever the case may be. And all of that fits this kind of general package of ideas and beliefs that we've become very used to, unfortunately. All right, a user whose username is just numbers and letters, starting with XF1, said, Mr. Pakman, sir, Dumpy checked out midway through second term campaign. You could tell at the rallies, low energy every time. He had no reason to care what he has no reason to care what presidential legacy or complete Armageddon he leaves behind. It's extremely obvious. Yeah, I think you're right. Trump's energy has collapsed, and it shows. The rallies used to be bombastic, terrifying, and effective. Now, I mean, he's doing them less frequently, but they're just kind of sad. He seems checked out. He doesn't really need to do anything. His base seems completely locked in no matter what. And that is a form of rot. It's not strength. And it's why everything is crumbling into chaos. It's why his military parade failed completely miserably. And XF1 really hits the nail on the head here. Trump doesn't seem to care what he leaves behind. It's a smash and grab. What can I get for myself and my family? Legacy, policy, democracy. It's all just kind of background noise. Trump's running on fumes, motivated by ego and revenge. And when the president stops even pretending to care, we all really do start to pay a price. And we are seeing it. We are seeing it every single day. I think that the analysis there is spot on. All right. Someone who goes by ex-journalist on Substack said, quote, in a disgusting moment, in an amazing moment, in a scary moment, and says, WTF is up with all these low IQ, liberal clickbait accounts all using the same language in their videos. So, I want to be thoughtful and substantive here. Ex-journalist isn't wrong that repetitive phrasing can feel grating. And creators' feeds can start to blur together. But reducing this sort of language to low IQ liberal clickbait misses what I believe is the real issue here, which is people use phrases that are rewarded by platforms. I'm actually starting to write about this for my next book. And if you're frustrated with the sameness, aim your criticism at the algorithm rather than the creators, because to a certain degree, I have no control over the algorithm, and we're all trying to get our content seen and do what works. However, it's also important not to confuse repetitive packaging with substantively repetitive things that are going on. We have endless, disgusting, amazing, scary, terrifying, shocking, unusual moments multiple times a day right now, okay? Just because you hear in a disgusting moment, Stephen Miller did X, it doesn't mean it's not disgusting, and it doesn't mean that the analysis lacks depth, because there are no shortage of those things taking place. Now, there are some creators that are garbage. Maybe I'm one of them, right? That's for you to judge. You are the ultimate judge of what I'm doing. But just someone saying in a disgusting moment the following happened, and then spending 20 minutes doing analysis that is valuable. Listen, we can all be mad about the homogenization, but attacking the entire left ecosystem as stupid because you don't like some of the phraseology, I think is a little bit low energy. Okay, Melanie Brennan says she means Trump here. When he says they say, he's saying, I made this up to make me look great. Yeah, this is absolutely correct. This is one of Trump's magic phrases. They came to me with tears in their eyes and they said, sir, that's another one, right? When Trump goes, they say this was the most important election victory ever. This is Trump's magic phrase when he wants to say something outrageous, untrue, totally not based in fact, but he wants to dodge responsibility for it. It's a shield and it's a bluff. He gets the benefit of the claim without having to back it up when he uses that. It's dishonest, it's manipulative, it's very effective because only some people stop to say, who is they? I sometimes wrongly do this. I really try to, when I go, they've been saying, I will say, hold on a second, Trump's inner circle, Republican senators, the Freedom Caucus. I try to catch myself because I know that it's weak. This rhetoric, Trump using it, it's not random. It's really part of a broader con where Trump positions himself as the truth teller and he avoids the burden of proof. It's the language of grifters rather than leaders. And when you decode that phrase for what it is, I made this up 2 minutes ago because I'm committed to saying it. You can be more prepared to sort of defeat it. That's what I would propose and suggest here. All right. Next, we heard on the subreddit from Combo Nickel, who says, stop viewing politics as entertainment, like Elon versus Trump. Stop supporting commentators who do. adding, "This isn't entertaining or funny or awesome. These corrupt cretins are a global embarrassment, and their spectacle only further diminishes our already tarnished reputation." This isn't Jerry Springer. Viewing and treating politics like entertainment is a lot of how we got into this mess in the first place. Policy, policy, policy. So let me give you two thoughts on this. Number one, I wish everybody wanted less spectacle and more substance and more policy. Politics shouldn't be a Netflix show. A lot of bad actors want you to treat it that way because if it's all just drama, no one asks about policy. I argue it helps Republicans. But we also need to be real. The average person's not going to sit down and read a white paper. The average person is going to watch content that feels urgent, emotional, and real. And so the challenge and my goal is to elevate the conversation from where it would otherwise be. It doesn't mean you turn everything into a white paper analysis because then you lose your whole audience, okay? If someone's turning the Elon versus Trump saga into cheap drama with no context about the role of billionaire tech bros and influence on our economy or whatever, then it's a fair criticism. If drama is being used to expose deeper truths about power and influence, that's not Jerry Springer. I think that's political education formatted to TikTok, YouTube, or whatever. So I don't think we fix this problem by scolding people into, if you're not reading policy PDFs, then you're not really doing anything of value. I think we fix this by meeting people where they are and then saying, can we elevate from here? Even if it's just 5%, even if it's just 10%. That's my view. Okay. You tell me if you disagree. The Squeet wrote on YouTube, I think Stephen Miller is the most dangerous man in the administration. I agree that, I mean, listen, he's absolutely one of the most dangerous figures in the Trump orbit, not because he's loud, but because he is methodical, he's strategic, and he's unrelenting and has all of the worst instincts, all of the worst things. The cruelty of family separations, the Muslim ban, the push for mass deportations, all of this stuff traces back to Stephen Miller. Trump performs the outrage, but Miller is behind him drafting the plans. And the plans, they turn the cruelest instincts into the law. And so it's easy to focus only on Trump, but Miller is the engine here, a coal-fired engine behind some of the darkest policy shifts of the last decade. He's not chaotic. He's very calculated, and that kind of makes him scary to a degree. He knows how to bend the legal system to the authoritarian ends that he and Trump want. And so I think it's really good to keep the spotlight on Stephen Miller. Miller doesn't go away when the cameras are off. Miller gets to work when the cameras are off. All right, Tim McClure said about recent reporting speculating about Donald Trump wearing leg braces or a urinary catheter. I don't give a damn about braces or a catheter. President Roosevelt was in a wheelchair. What matters is his rapidly falling mental state and his commitment to being a dictator. Yeah, I mean, listen, people keep throwing around Trump's age and health to either attack him or to say, for his age, he's doing great. I don't think any of this is really about that. This is about fitness. No one cared that Roosevelt used a wheelchair. Well, I mean, it wasn't even known for a lot of Roosevelt's presidency, but Roosevelt had vision and he had discipline. Trump's problems aren't primarily physical. They're mental, emotional, and moral. He's completely unmoored and erratic and obsessed with personal power and authoritarianism. However, the relevance of what is going on with Trump physically is also that while claiming that they are going to be the most transparent administration about everything and having attacked Joe Biden a million different ways for his health, while releasing completely unbelievable health reports about Trump being the healthiest this and the most fit that, they are clearly lying and hiding. They did it when Trump had COVID. So the relevance isn't, if a president has leg braces, he can't be president. Of course he can. It's the dishonesty and how it all is used to fuel this authoritarian cult of personality. That's why we care about it. Send in your thoughts, info@davidpakman.com. We will soon be relaunching the Substack. This is going to be great. I hope that you are on the Substack newsletter. You can find it on my website or at davidpakman.substack.com. I will see you on the bonus show. I'll see you back here Monday.